video, we're going to find the limit when your result is 0 over 0. On the previous video, we were looking at limits, and basically with your basic plug and chug, you usually get a defined number. In this case, we will consider the following. When you have a limit, when you're looking for a limit, sometimes you will get a 0 over 0. So consider this. In this case, you get, when you go through the finding the limit, after you're doing your regular plug and chug, your end result is 0, 0, right? Think of this limit. This limit, after you plug and chug, you get a different number, which is -1 over 0, which is undefined. Usually, if you have 0 as the denominator, your result is undefined. However, if your result is 0 over 0, then there's a chance that your function might still exist. So there are 3 basic rules when finding the limit if you get 0 over 0. First, if you get 0 over 0, you can try simplifying the function by doing algebra or trigonometry, depending on the problem that you're looking at. 2, simplify the function, of course. And then the third thing, once you simplify the function completely, you can do your, again, plug and chug. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of examples where our end result is 0 over 0. And then we will do algebra or trig to simplify, and then start over with plug and chug. We're going to use the example that we used before. This is the limit as x goes to 2, x squared minus 7x plus 10 over x squared minus x minus 2. So here, if we do our basic plug and chug, we're going to get 2 squared minus 7 times 2 plus 10. All this is over 2 squared minus 2 minus 2. Okay? We continue. This is 4 minus 14 plus 10 over 4 minus 4. Right? This will give us 14 minus 14 over 0. In the end, we get 0 over 0. Okay, so here, usually, if we had a number on the numerator and 0 under the denominator, then that would be an undefined function. In this case, though, we can continue by simplifying the function. So in this case, what we can do is rewrite the function. So now that it's simplified, we notice that we got x minus 2 here. Those 2 can cancel out. So now we rewrite the function, and we get limit as x approaches 2 of x minus 5 over x plus 1. Now that we have this function, we can continue to try again to plug and chug and see if we get any number. Since now we're going to do plug and chug, you don't have to write the limit part anymore. So just remember that while you're simplifying, you must continue to write the limit part, until you're ready to plug in the number. So here we get 2 minus 5 over 2 plus 1. What we get here is -3 over 3. So our answer to this function is -1. So notice how we went from plugging and chugging to 0 over 0. But once we did some algebra and you simplify the function by canceling out some terms, you got a different function, which once you plug the x value, you get an actual answer. Remember, the first thing you got to do is plug and chug. So here we get 2 to the 3rd power minus 8 over 2 minus 2. this will give us 8 minus 8 over 0, and then we get 0 over 0. So since we get 0 over 0, what we got to try to do is simplify this function and see where we go from there. Here we get, once we simplify this, we should get limit of x as x approaches 2. I think we'll get x minus 2 since we have that. Usually when you're doing factoring out functions like this, especially from the textbook, you would usually find that whatever you break it down to, you're going to have something similar on both the numerator and denominator that will allow you to cancel out something so you can continue solving the function. So here it's kind of obvious that we will get a similar numerator and denominator. So we continue, I think this will be x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay, and all of that is going to go over x minus 2. So as we can see here, the x minus 2 part can be cancelled out. And in the end we get the limit as x approaches 2 of x squared plus 2x plus 4. I believe that's correct. Now that we have this function simplified, we can continue solving this with plug and chug. So let's try that out. Now that we're ready to plug and chug, we get 2 squared, 2 times 2 plus 4. Okay, so then we get 4 plus 4 plus 4, and that will give us 12. So this function that ended in zeros, once you simplify it by factoring it out and then you do the plug and chug again, once you continue, you get 12. On the next video, we're gonna do finding the limit of 0 over 0 for trigonometric functions. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.